Huge news in the recent chapter of Fairy Tail. The spoilers have come out, and especially with one of the pages out there at the moment, the chapter 510 known as Natsu's Ha, we can clearly see right there that we can finally see the confirmation on Natsu's and Zeref's real mother, and we finally get to see the reveal of what exactly that they look like. Obviously, I'm going to show you the picture here. Clearly, if you don't want to look at it, then you don't want to pretty much look at this whole video altogether. But the fact that I'm going to be showing you them right now, you can see in this panel right here, clearly that Natsu is showing some sort of like flashback from back in the day, like what we can get to see, and Zeref is showing him his family and what they used to be. And there you go. After all these years of speculating of what exactly that they were, like what exactly did they look like, there they are. There's Natsu's father and also as well his mother alongside him with Zeref's mother and father. I gotta say, that was kind of how I was expecting like Natsu's mother to really look like. If people know the while that there's been like this kind of different version of what we got to see the characters for quite a while. If people know that we've seen like people do a fan version of them, which is especially one of the ones I love a lot, have been done by X Fairy Drawing. I forget her actual new name on Tumblr, but generally the fact I love her design, what she portrayed of Natsu and Zeref's mother and father, and definitely I really like what they're kind of going for, like the mother there. I think Natsu's father is a little bit like, the only design there. I was like, I was kind of expecting a little bit more. I was expecting him to kind of like to really have like the same kind of hairstyle, exactly what he had like round about there. Like I was honestly expecting like he had the same hairstyle, design, a lot like Natsu. Although this could be an idea of like at the end of the series, especially, is that what if like Natsu kind of actually ends up looking like this? A lot of characters from what we've seen like during their times, it's kind of look a little bit like this, like during the ending like of the series. As if you remember, if you've seen like characters like Naruto or Ichigo Kurosaki, they kind of had a lot more of a shorter, kind of bolder, kind of like cut hair than what they did with their crazy kind of anime hairstyle. And definitely, if anything, if like we see Natsu kind of like in an epilogue at the end of the series, this is something I could imagine him having the design of. Like if he's like, this is 10 years, like 20 years later after Natsu's now become a father. Like I generally could see this design. I really do like it, but definitely I'm going to show you kind of like a side-by-side with the fan version that we've been kind of like predicting for a while. Honestly, like I really do love that design, and it's some of my favorite ones. Definitely, I've got to say, I really like the mother's design. I think that's a really cool design. I kind of like the whole really kind of rough styling of her hair that we got to see there. But this is generally something that we've wanted to see for goddamn, like, who knows how long for this far. Generally, I think, like, now that this big confrontation that we're having with Natsu, and I can generally see why now this chapter is going to be titled Natsu's Heart, from especially just this panel as well, is that it seems like having a confrontation between Natsu and Zeref and Silent. This may be like some sort of imagination, or like Zeref is like actually like inside of him right now, like talking to him and revealing this to her. We will get a lot more of the details out as soon as I read out the spoilers to you, ladies and gentlemen, which will be another video all to itself since there's so much. But generally on this one, I wanted to focus more on Natsu and Zeref, and alongside just having their mother and father finally revealed. Generally, what do you guys think though in the comment section down below? What did you think of the fact that we finally got the reveal of Natsu and like Zeref's like mother and father? Like, is that what you generally expected? And also as well, what do you expect like from that little top page? So we see like the little village that they like have, and it was like this is what they've had like all along, spending their time saying like this is what you're gonna have like to fill your lost memory. Here you go. Like this is like this very archaic kind of village. Now you gotta remember that like both like all the Dragon Slayers come back from this time. They all had this time machine like kind of go through with the eclipse. Like, and especially I love that it was like this is how it was. It kind of really reminds me with like kind of a toga kind of like aspect that they got of the family. It really does remind me of like more kind of like a Roman Empire kind of design. I'm thinking that's kind of where like Hiro Mashima is going for, a very rustic kind of like very more archaic version of what we're kind of used to. And definitely like to see that this is what his like lifestyle was during this time, and like being the fact that he was so little at this point. Like the kid, like Natsu at this point looks like he was about like 4 or 5, like generally a very like young age, alongside with Zeref as well. And it's like it's just so weird to see that this is what his happy family was, and then the journey that it all got destroyed by like dragons after all this time. And it's like this just is a terrifying thing. And like hopefully like we don't get that reveal that it's like it was Acnologia all along, because I think like maybe Zeref might have a little bit more of hatred towards him. But then again, the current Zeref that we know from our timeline is a lot more crazier. So in fact that he just wants to destroy everything. Like this is what the world took away from him. And it's just kind of like a little sad opportunity to think that what happened if, like, you know, none of Fairy Tail actually happened, and this was what, like, none of the dragons came, Natsu was able to live out, like, a peaceful life with his family, what if his family survived, what if he didn't die and be reborn as E&D, like, just thinking about what kind of life would Natsu have, and generally that is something I would like if that was a spin-off, or like kind of what if chapter, if Hiro Mashima ever put that out, and I don't think that's ever going to be a thing in the manga itself, but if generally any of the fan like translators, they actually even like listen to this, or even like any of the guys who do some of the fan mangas and all that, I would kind of love to see that and all that. And heck, I would either like be full in to give tips advice and all that. I'm a terrible fucking story writer, hence I don't do it like that. I just stick to critiquing and reviewing the stuff. But generally, it was something that would kind of make me like kind of warm my heart up inside, seeing like this is what happened in like Natsume, like, and heck, even in this time, like maybe he actually met like Anna Heartfilia in some point, like regardless of what, you know, of like the timelines and all that, he was always destined to meet someone like Lucy. I feel like that would be something very sweet, or like kind of like even the daughter of Anna Heartfilia, or anything like that. Since like I believe like Anna at that point was right about the same age as Seraph from what we saw in the Eclipse timeline. So it would have to wait and see what exactly would happen, but yeah, very nice heartwarming thing, and I'm kind of glad that we finally got the reveal. And I want to see what you guys think, though. What do you generally think about Natsu's like mother and father? Like, what do you think that it's been all this time in 510? Seems like it's going to be a huge moment for like Natsu, and maybe we might get a little bit more about details about the family. And I can't wait for the full translation of this, because clearly what we see from this panel there is that we really don't see what Natsu truly feels about this situation. So I am looking forward to what's going to be happening more in Fairy Tail, and I am just excited to see what 510 has in store for us. But that is all from me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you as always. You love Fairy Tail as much as I do. You know where to hit that like, you know where to hit that subscribe, you know where to hit all that beautiful stuff, the more Fairy Tail content. We got more coming on you guys, people. We've got definitely some more stuff coming with the spoilers itself. Don't worry, they'll be up very soon. And alongside, we're going to be talking a little bit about 511 as well, since there's some information about that. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys, though, next time.